Well, I think it's no surprise that we have been chosen the UV Excellence Partner. If we look into the history of Mimaki, and actually today, or right now we are celebrating the 20 years anniversary of Mimaki in Europe. What is interesting is also that our UV history started also exactly 20 years ago. So it's not only 20 years Mimaki Europe, but it's also 20 years Mimaki UV technology. End of last year, in 2023, we have launched the UCJV 330 and the UJV 100 Plus, which are both on show here at FESPA. The UJV 100 160 Plus is an enhanced version of the UJV 100, adding additional functions to print in 3 layers, as well as an ink saving function, where we do use some very smart algorithms to basically get the same color perception with about 30% ink saving. So it's also, well, it's more sustainable and it also saves cost. As well as it has the lowest energy consumption in the market. When it just runs in regular production, it consumes about 290 to 300 watt of energy only, which is about 1/5 compared to the average solvent printer and about 1/8 compared to the average resin-based inkjet printer in the same segment. So in 2021, it was actually right here in Amsterdam at FESPA Global, we launched the JVIC 600 2513, which was a 4x8 sized high-speed flatbed printer, speeds up to 200 square meter per hour in 4-color and 110 square meter when equipped with white ink. And since then we have got more and more requests that can you make a bigger table out of it. So we are launching it today in a 2.5 by 3.1 meter size. And besides from having a larger bed to print larger sheets, what it also enables is if you look at high-speed UV flatbed printers, the problem is we can print fast, but the time it takes to actually take the sheet from the bed after the printing, to put a new sheet, to clean the sheet and to start printing again remains the same. So the faster the printer becomes, actually the more inefficient it becomes, because most of the time it's waiting for the material change. And with a large bed, we have equipped what we call the print toggle function, which basically means if people don't use the full size because they are printing large size sheets, we actually enable them to use the machine as it were 2 machines next to each other, which means on one side they can prepare the material while the other side is printing, which means the printing process is actually uninterrupted on both sides of the tables, and when one is printing, the operator is preparing the other sheet, and this just keeps going on without any interruption, and that actually the print speed is the same, but the productivity increases a lot. Mimaki has a long history in flatbed cutting tables that a lot of people are maybe not so much aware of, but we were making those before we started to make printers. And now we have upgraded this with the latest CFX series, which is available in a 2.5 by 1.3, as well as 2.5 by 3.1, and even a 2.5 by 5 meter version. It's a modular system. We can increase the bed size also after the installation, so customers don't have to choose at start what they want to continue with. And that basically opens up a whole new range of applications, up to packaging, different sign applications. And we have a range of tools available. It's completely modular system, so basically completely depending on the needs of the customers and the requirements, we can basically design the configuration for them. It's a very exciting launch. We have previewed the technology at EMEA last year, and today we are commercially launching it named Trappist, which means it's a transfer pigment printing system. And basically what it does is, as in dye sublimation transfer, where we print on a paper and then transfer the paper to the textile, which provides a very easy process, and also a process that doesn't require any water. We are now actually with the transfer pigment technology, we are bringing the same process to the pigment printing space, which means we are not, as in dye sublimation, we are limited to polyester-based materials. But with Trappist, basically we can use the same process with a different ink technology on any fiber type, included blended fibers. And by doing this, compared to direct print, we reduce the water consumption by about 14.5 liters per square meter. So it's a 90% reduction. The 10% which we can't reduce is the water which is used during the production of the paper. And the good thing from that is that happens in the paper factory, so that does not happen at the printing site, which means the site where the actual textile production happens doesn't create any wastewater, which means the location where the textile is produced is no longer limited to the areas where we have less environmental restrictions or getting licenses to actually produce wastewater, which means with this system we can bring textile production much closer to the consumers. And then it's not only about the production itself, which gets a lot more sustainable, but it also means with smaller production sites bringing the production closer to the consumers, not having the shipments from the Far East, etc., not having to overstock products, potentially waste products that are not sold. We can reduce the whole footprint of fashion a lot.